Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. Welcome back to this new episode. My name is Manzi Mbaya. You already know this is the #1 podcast in the country. Yay. And today I'm very excited. I have someone very special, a celebrity in the house. And it's an honor to receive you here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WEYA Viatora.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting.
Oh, my pleasure. So how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
And
Looking good.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm good. I feel good, Yeah, I'm actually feeling good. I'm really good. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, so how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A lot of work. I'm working on videos and new music and new shows and new everything, basically.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm great. I'm grateful. It's working.
Yeah. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know WEYA Viatora is one of the best vocalists we have in Rwanda. And, I just said it, and I respect her so much. And I wanted her to come to my podcast, and you being here, I'm very happy. Let me just have some tea.
Get it. Sip it.
Good. So, yeah, WEYA Viatora, I discovered you few years ago. I was still also young, and I was in my 17, 16, 18. I don't know. I don't know how old were you.
I was 18
yeah?
as well. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's when I discovered you, and I think that's when you blew up.
Yep.
And talking about blowing up, we talk about Empty House. That is the song that made you continue this path, I guess.
Yes, it is.
And I feel like I want to talk about that song and that whole story. Maybe let's start by talking about who is WEYA Viatora, and then we go through that journey.
Okay. WEYA Viatora is the Rwandan singer, songwriter, actress, dancer, composer sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm 24 years old. I live here in Rwanda, and I'm passionate about traveling and, of course, music and movies and discovering new things. I love discovering new things. I just finished with university. I was at Kepler University, where I was studying business management. And yeah, I love chilling with my friends. I love my family. I love praying. Well, basically that's it. Yeah.
Jesus is the Lord.
Amen. Preach!
All right. So big shout out to you. And also I'm very excited that you really gave me your time and you came by to the studio.
Oh, it's nice.
There is a lot to talk about and talk about your journey. Because I think you are really one of the few people we have that are really have been there and so humble and so talented at the same time.
Thank you.
You've been doing a lot of things. Because I know you from music, but I also know you from theater. Because I've worked with Isho Art Center,
yeah.
and I know you working with them on different pieces. So, first of all, how did you discover music? Before Empty House, we'll talk about Empty House.
Okay. So, according to the stories of my family, I used to sing every time, even when I was a little kid. They say even when I was 4.
Yeah.
So there's this song, My Heart Will Go On, from Titanic. We all know the song. So they tell me every time that I used to sing that song all the time.
Wow.
So I was passionate about music from then, and when I went to secondary school, I started being passionate about dance now.
Yeah.
So I switched a little bit.
Yeah.
And then later on in senior 2, that's when I found myself writing. So I started to write stupid songs mainly.
Yeah.
But also out of that came real good stuff.
So from senior 2, you start to write songs?
Yes. I started to write songs, and then from then create melodies, but I didn't go to any studios or so. Yeah. But later on, when I was in senior 5, that's when I became friends with Criso and Danny Beats. So we started chilling at the studio, smoothly.
Yeah.
And then we recorded a few songs then. And then when I was in senior 6, that's when we recorded one song, Empty House song.
Yeah.
And then we're like, now we're gonna release this, because I was so waiting for me to finish secondary first, because I made a deal with my dad that I will sing when I will be done with secondary. So like, yeah, so then that's when it started. And yeah, so I would say that music have always been there in my life. Yeah, I've always
since
been,
you're 4.
Yeah, since I'm 4. So I used to sing all the time and being fascinated by music.
So how was it? How was it you having that passion of music at the same time with your family, you know, because you come from a Christian family, right?
Yes.
So was it something that was easy for them to accept, or?
Doing it as a hobby was okay.
Yeah.
But then when I told them that I wanted to do it for life, like as a profession, that was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard, basically because, you know, our society, they're like, no, you're not gonna live of that. Like, it's not gonna pay you enough, you know. And that was hard. So I, like many other artists, I did sing in the choir, but I sang in the choir after starting to go to the studio. So it was like a way of like, I'm singing outside, so let me also join the choir, you know, like, and, you know. And so it was hard for me, and I didn't give up, because I was like, this is what I want to do, and I'll find a way to prove to them that really it can pay, like I can pay my bills later on, like with my music. And so, they was hard at first, but then later on they started saying, that's my daughter on the radio, that's my daughter on the TV.
Nice.
So
now, because I remember at the time, because I'm 25 right now, and so if you are 24, that means that I was 1 year older than you at the time, you know. And when I was listening to the radio Voice of America, I remember people talking about, there is this talented young Rwandese, you know, this song blew up, Empty House. I was like, WEYA Viatora. And that's when actually, I heard about your name. And then I think where I saw you the next was High School Idol, that event.
Yes.
Because I think I was nominated in High School Idol for the best dance video, and then you were nominated also, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's where I started to actually know, WEYA Viatora, this is WEYA Viatora. And then from there, the name WEYA Viatora was always there. And then from WEYA Viatora, I see you in did you work with Mashirika?
No. It was mainly Issue Art Center.
Yeah.
I was supposed to work with Mashirika, I guess, in 2015, but then I had an accident then.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, so I couldn't go to the rehearsals, so I just cut it, and then I've never worked with them since then. But I've been always close to Issue Art Center and then working with them.
Yeah, because you worked, I remember you were in this piece called Mboka.
Yes,
I think, right?
Mboka.
Yeah.
It was with Issue Art Center. Yeah, it was in 2016.
2016.
Yes.
And that was before, because that was after the blowing up of Empty House.
Yes,
Now
it was
Nowhere.
after. So
Empty
House was 2015, because I finished high school in 2014.
Yeah.
So we released it around, I guess, November.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when, 2015 was like the year of the song then.
Yeah.
And then later on, we started to do different shows, different theater pieces. So, yeah.
So how was your experience? Because I don't think you expected Empty House to blow up.
No.
So how did you feel, and did you see yourself? That's when maybe you saw yourself doing music as a career at the time?
I've always believed that I was going to make it. But then we released Empty House. So the story is I used to talk with Larry London.
Yeah.
And, you could write to him and then request a song. And so I wrote to him, and then I was like, hi, by the way, I released my first song. Let me send you a link. You should check it out and all that. And then he actually did check it out. And then he was like, I love it. I'm going to play it on my show. I'm like, okay. We all know those promises from people like, I love you, I'm going to do this for you. And then you wait. So I was like, okay, cool. And then it was Wednesday afternoon, because at Lycée de Kigali, where I was studying, like we did study in the morning only on Wednesdays. So I went home, I'm like, as usual, I was like listening to the show, but at the same time watching a movie, Friends, I guess. And then at some point I heard my name. I was like, this is not happening, you know.
Yeah.
And then he was like introducing the song and all that, and he played it, and I couldn't believe. I was like sitting on my bed, like, wow, like this is really happening. And that's when I was like, okay, now this is working, you know, as you said, you know, like when you at some point you believe it, but when it's working, it gives a different energy, you know.
Yeah.
Like you see everything you believed in like coming to reality.
Yeah.
And all that, and it was one of the most amazing days of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would you tell him right now if he would be listening to this podcast?
Live in London.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
A big thank you, because I believe it really played a huge role in my career, because everyone's like, yes, WEYA Viatora, but what's with WEYA Viatora? Like, oh, her song has been played on Voice of America, so that was like, you know,
Yeah.
the hit. Yeah. So I would thank him a lot, because he believed in me. There were really good comments from him, and good comments from people who were listening from different countries.
Yeah.
They were writing and say, oh, her voice sounds like this one, oh, she should continue and all that. And it really helped me.
And here you are now.
Here I am now.
Wow. So now, from that Empty House, blew up song, and then how did you meet Issue Art Center, or how did you end up in theater?
So when I finished high school, Danny Beats introduced me to the comedy nights. So we had this play about corruption. So like, yeah, so we worked together, and then I became friends with Michael Sengazi. So
Yeah.
we used to chill, we go pray together and all that. And I remember one day after mass, we were like working home, and he was like, by the way, there's this workshop with Carol. By the way, I've been obsessed with Carol since I was like in primary.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love her work. I
She's a
love her.
diva.
She is amazing,
Yeah.
you know. And then he was like, yeah, so this workshop, and then they need musician. By the time I met Dida from Issue Art Center as well, so he was like, I'm gonna talk to Dida. She wanted female artists, and then she was wondering if you might join. I was like, oh, I would love that. And then that's when I went to work with Carol and Issue Art Center. Yeah. So that's when we started like working together on that workshop, and then later on we created a show, and then later on she was like, I have this piece called Mboka, you should join, and voila, we continued to work together.
Yeah. And then not only you had music in your life, but you also had theater.
Yeah. I never believed I had that in me, because I was always focused, you know, on the music and the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I discovered it, and then they were like, oh, you're good. Yeah, you should consider it and all that. I loved it. So Mboka was like, no, the corruption piece
Yeah.
was like, I can do it, because I was with professional actors like, you know, Michael, Babu and all that. So I was like, the fact that they appreciate my work, like I might be good at this as well. Because before that I used to do it at school, like small thing, at church, you know, like those small things. And then I was like, yeah, should give it a shot. And then I continued to work with Carol, later on with Dorcy, like on
Rugamba.
Dorcy Rugamba on the piece on the commemoration. Yeah, and I love it, and I'm thinking about, you know, focusing on that as well nowadays. Yeah.
You should, you know. I think we artists, we don't need to be limited, you know. We have to be everywhere. Spread our wings everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, now we have this music journey going, and we have theater now. How did you end up now in Green Ferry? Because I see you doing a lot of tracks with artists from Green Ferry.
Yes. How did I end up in Green Ferry? I went to the same school with Prime.
Oh, Prime Azimaka.
Prime Azimaka.
Yeah.
Same promotion, same school. So we were like, sometimes we were chilling during lunch break. So it was like, yeah, you should come to the studio. So I went there. Oh, it's a song. I don't even know if it was released later on. Yeah. But I went there he wanted some female voices in some part of the song. So I was like, oh, cool, I can come. So I was there, and then I sang, and then Ganji was there also. And he was like, yeah, you should come here often. And then by the time, because when I started, I used, like, the rhythm that I had that time is different from what I have this time, like the genre. Because then it was like strictly pop. And now I'm like trying to do pop, but with a touch of traditional rhythm, you know, like having something that will feel Rwandan, you know, like this is a Rwandan song.
Yeah.
And by the time Ganji was so good at that, he would mix, you know, trap and, you know, Kenya trap, deja it's mixed, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I went there and then we were trying things out and I loved it. And by the time I wanted to record my album, so we started working with the different artists from there, and I was fascinated by the energy of the rappers.
Yeah.
They are amazing. They are like at the studio 24/7. You know, you're at the studio. I'm like, hi, I'm with Ice Nova. I'm like, you're always here. You know, like, and I loved it. Like, you could go there with no appointment, and then you find yourself like working with them because they're always there giving feedback. And like, by the way, this part you can sing. You know, and then I found myself working with them often. I wasn't signed in because I'm still figuring out what I want really. So I didn't want to be signed, so I was like, let's just have a specific contract about how we're gonna work together. And then that's how I started, and then I recorded my album with them. So that's how I was in Green Ferry. I was working with Green Ferry.
I really love that studio because I got a privilege to be there when I was doing my thesis of school. And then you see Ganji is there. You see, by the time when Betray was there, you see Amelon, you see Bushari, you see everyone, Sloom, you see all these guys are so talented, so driven, you know, and you see them writing, you see them on the microphone, you're like, yo, Kigali is not ready for these guys. You know?
Like they caught me by surprise, you know. I was like, you know, like Empty Song, it's not upbeat, but it's not slow. But I'm into slow stuff. But then I was like, hey, you know, like I found myself like, hey, should do
there is
music,
such a hype. There is such a hype.
Like, what are you high on? You know, like really the energy, like it was so nice, and I stayed. I loved it.
Because I saw you did a lot of featurings on different albums of the guys, you know, with Ice Nova,
Prime,
with Prime, who else?
Martin.
I saw Amelon. Oh,
Amelon was on one song, but we didn't release it. But then we worked together on a song called Clouds. So it was me, Martin, and Amelon. Yeah. So Bushari. Who else? I think those are the people that I worked with. From there.
So you were not intimidated to be there as a female? Because that was before
the only
Kaya,
female,
right? That was Kaya now. Because Kaya now is signed in Green Ferry.
Kaya is signed in,
So that was before. How was it as a female artist being there?
It was a privilege. It was a privilege because they wanted my energy, like as a female artist. I needed their energy as well. So it was really nice. It wasn't intimidating at all.
Yeah, that's good.
I felt safe because they were my people. Like, family. You could go there, chill, go buy some chapati and tea, and then like continue working. And it was so nice.
That's nice.
So it was like, a family gathering indeed. Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like you can be intimidated as, like you're the only girl and it's only guys, they're like, yo, bro, what's good? So you're like, I'm not bro, I'm just WEYA Viatora, So to see that you felt comfortable, then it's good.
Yeah, because I was born in a family of a lot of boys. So we were just 2 girls and 4 boys. And the second girl was born after 8 years. So I spent 8 years playing football, fighting, I'm still a tomboy in some type of way. But, but then it was like tomboy, And and the whole neighborhood was like boys, so could go there to play football, play FIFA, I was always hanging around. I'm still always often hanging around with boys. Like I have many boy friends than girls. Yeah,
So do you mean you can beat me on FIFA?
Yeah, but it wasn't my favorite game. It was what was it called? Wait. It was a game about fighting.
Which one?
Yeah. It wasn't Tekken. Tekken.
Yeah, I know Tekken.
So it was another
Mortal Kombat.
No. Attends, je dois me rappeler de ce nom. I'm gonna tell you later when I remember.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's why I've never been intimidated by boys.
Yeah.
So I was always, surrounded by guys.
Nice.
And I loved it because I was,
And it's also
somewhere
nice
more
that
comfortable. I don't know how to say it. Yeah.
You felt welcomed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
much. Yeah,
So did you get to work with other labels? Because you have a lot of labels now, right now.
So mainly I did just record with Ganji, Danny Beats, Criso.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working with Made Beats, but we haven't, finalized everything. So we're still finding a way to work together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there are those.
Nice. And now I see you in Belgium, and I wonder, so this girl, what is she doing in Belgium? She have family there, or she's there working?
No, it was job first, and then visiting later.
Yeah.
So I had a festival that I was supposed to perform in. It was called Congolisation.
Yeah.
So I went there for the festival mainly, but also to record an album with Nicolas Lefebvre.
Yeah.
Donc, voilà. I was there I was supposed to be there for 4 months because we wanted to record the album during that time. But then because of the coronavirus and all that, we found ourselves, I found myself staying there for 8 months, and I came back not done with it. Like now I have to go back when everything goes back in place to proceed.
Yeah. So what is the album about? Or it's a secret?
No, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. Yeah, so it's the album is about dedication.
Dedication.
Yeah, because I've always thought that I had some duty to sing specific things. So I'm not the type to sing, like songs that are just there like for fun, Like I'm into lyrics that mean a lot of things, like deep lyrics. Like I love songs with no deep lyrics, like you have fun with them, but I'm so into deep lyrics.
You're a storyteller.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller. So the album is about dedication. Like I'm gonna make a song to dedicate to, for example, women that were raped. I'm gonna get a song to dedicate to all the grandmothers. So I found myself writing specific songs that are targeted to specific people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what the album is about. So it's called Dedication.
Wow, can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, dedication. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So you were in Belgium for how long working on the album?
We worked on the album for 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they closed the
borders?
studios. The studios and the border.
Studios.
Yeah. So mainly I was working from home, like trying to get better on my guitar and to write more. I always write.
Yeah. Now I'm very curious, like how was the experience with working in Belgium, like working with producers from Belgium. So did you see any difference like compared to Rwanda?
Yeah, a huge difference because specifically the producer I was working with takes his time.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're gonna record a song per week. I'm like, per week? Like Green Ferry, we vibe, 2 days, it's out,
Yeah.
But he likes taking his time, and it's a live recording. So it was my first time to experience that, like full band, like piano, guitar, drums, you're here like in the same room. It was so big, and we could record at the same time, like feeling each other's vibe, and it was so nice to record without or hearing the beat from the earphones and all that.
Yeah.
So it was a different experience. So he wanted a touch of Rwandan music, so we could spend more time listening to our music, and then we will spend more time listening to his kind of music as well, for us to find the perfect fusion.
Yeah.
That was like the idea of the album.
Yeah.
So it was a different way of doing things, but quite interesting, like taking your time, bringing musician. And the good thing was, when he brought musician, he didn't tell them like, this is the song, you have to play this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the song, listen to it as long as you want. Whatever comes to your mind, just record it. And then later on, we could listen to different versions of things that he was trying to vibe in with.
Yeah.
So we could just like, I like this better. Like, can you please redo this? So this is what we chose. So they will feel involved in the process. It's not like, okay, so these are the notes. Play do, re, whatever. So yeah, they will like feel it and then be like, okay, this is the feeling, this is what the song talks about, what does it say to you, and then from there they were also creating.
Nice.
So, and I loved it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So does that, because now I'm curious, so are you working on the project as a freelancer, or are you willing to sign in their label? I don't know, like, how is
To
it?
sign, I don't know, because I don't want to stay there. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to come back to Rwanda. So I think we will find a contract that suits both parties, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But it was really interesting, and we have to work on the album for, I don't know, 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So-
that's really good. I really can't wait. Dedication.
Dedication.
Wow.
Might change later.
That's deep.
But for now, it's dedication.
For now, it's dedication.
Yes.
Wow. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, it was long but beautiful journey with
Yeah.
challenges.
Mm.
Because, you know, like you're there, you're like, okay, studio sessions now. And I had to take, you know, like classes, like singing classes.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a different experience and more advanced experience. And by that time, you're like, okay, coronavirus now comes, you know, like it was challenging. And by
Yeah.
that time, we're like, okay, you have to record something from home and then send it to me, and I'm gonna listen and see what we can do. I was about to be a producer, so it was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna send you all the materials you want, and then you'll be working from home.
Wow.
And then we tried it, but then it was like, no, I really want to feel your energy from the studio. Like, I want you here. We could
Yeah.
do that, but later on, I did have to go to the studio
Yeah.
for him to get.
Yeah,
the
I
energy.
feel like it changes, you know, because
Yeah.
you used to be in the studio with the producer, with the musician, with instruments. So to work from home, you have these
Yeah.
Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
It's different,
Mhm.
yeah? It's different.
Yeah, so I was living with my family, with kids. My little nephews, they were like 2. So like I started to record, and like, yeah. I'm like, okay, hi, come. You know? And it was challenging, but I guess it made me stronger. So they were scared that I was going to, you know,
Yeah.
give up or feel so bad about it. But I was like, yeah, it is what it is, you know?
Wow. No, I can't
You
wait.
move.
I can't wait to see dedication. And also, when it's out, please come back and we talk about it.
Definitely, I will.
So now, looking back at the young girl you were when you released Empty House, you know, what would you say right now? Like one word, what would you say about the whole journey?
About the whole journey. Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It wasn't what I expected at all. Yeah, because, you know, even in Rwanda, it's hard. So I found myself getting a lot of advices.
Yeah.
Different advices. So I'm like, you should do this. That will bring you money. No, you should do this. This is better. And I'm like, and then in the end, I'm like, okay, I should listen to my heart. You know, I have my principles. I have, you know, what I believe in.
Yeah.
So it was fascinating. It was hard, but I guess that's the beauty of it. Because, you know, when you work hard for something and then it comes to reality, you're like, aish, you know,
Yeah.
like, this is beautiful.
I
you know?
see the feeling.
Yeah. So it was hard, but beautifully hard, you know, and interesting. I learned a lot of stuff. I grew up like so much. I grew wise as like I thought this was what was supposed to happen, but then this is what happened. So I'm like, wow, so this also exists, this and this and this, you know, like I changed, but I evolved. Yeah, let me use that word. Yeah.
Wow. Because right now, for me personally, when I look at the music industry compared to back then, it's growing so much, you know. We have a lot of female artists, we have a lot of guys, rappers. Like when you talk about, for example, the hip hop industry, you know,
Wow.
like 2020 was their year, you know, they worked so much, you know, and wow, I just can't wait, you know, I can't wait for this COVID-19 to really go away, and then because when it goes away, I think more opportunities and more things will open up again.
Yes.
But what do you think about this industry? You as an artist, you know, who is in this industry music.
I think really it's evolving and it's being great, and I love the new artists, mainly the Kenya trap new artists.
Yeah.
I love them, the rappers. I'm into rap. I don't rap, but I'm so into rap.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that there are a lot of female artists, as you said, not only in the music industry but in the creative industry in general. Like
Yeah.
I was discovering painters, and like I love that, and it still have a long way to go, to be honest, because there are still a lot of things that I would love to change or to help in whatever way.
Yeah.
But I love it now. It's giving us hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
when you see them, to hear like, wow, I can't wait to see what's next. Like if we are here, what about in 5 years? What about in 10 years? So we'll be having like big shows. And what I love the most is like now, Rwandan people are starting to enjoy like the real art.
Yeah.
They are not in like like let's just dance. They like real art, like paying, like back then the artists were like, you're just an artist, let's give you just a ticket, and now you're like, no, this is what I do for life.
Yeah.
This is what pays my bills. So you're not gonna come and tell me like ticket. I'm like, that's just not gonna pay my bills. So I love that their mindset starting to get better, be open, see that they need it. One thing that I loved about COVID-19 is like people were staying home, and that's when they realized they can't live without music. They can't live without dance. They can't live without art. That was the only escape for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I loved it, and it opened their mind, and I fell in love with that.
I think we agree on that, and also I see that the government is really like discovering that really art is very important in our society, because not only art can make people come together, but also can really heal.
Yes, exactly.
When it comes to theater, when it comes to music, dance, everything related to art, in fine arts. So big up to every artist out there, doing their best. But WEYA Viatora, what would you tell a young WEYA Viatora out there? She's really sitting there dreaming. What would you tell her?
I have a song on the album about that, but I would tell her not to give up. Not to give up. Keep believing. If you believe in something, you will find a way. I will tell her that opportunities will not always come to her, but she will have to create her own opportunities. She will have to wake up and start new things. I will tell her not to be scared of starting new things, because people at first they don't understand, but trust me, at some point they loved it. And I think it can work with her as well. And I will tell her, to keep saying the word in a beautiful place, and to remember her duty as an artist. There is a reason why we are given the gifts that we have. And one of those reasons, I think, is to enlighten the people and to heal and to make the world better. And like those are the duties that I think that us as artists mainly do have. It's not just for us. It's supposed to be the light. So I'll tell her to work hard and believing.
Go for it.
Do you, boo?
Wow, that was inspiring. Well, really, thank you so much. It's not also easy for people to sit down and share, their journey and to really like go deep and have a genuine conversation, because I feel like most of the times we spend time talking about what's trending, my new song, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend, but we don't talk about really like what are we going through, like why do we do what we do, so that even the young people out there or people who really like love your work, they know actually she didn't just become WEYA Viatora just like that. It took a lot of work, it took a lot of sacrifices, a lot of patience, and energy.
Definitely.
So big up to yourself.
Thank you.
Big up to yourself, big up for your time, big up for everything that the energy you brought to the studio. I feel very satisfied.
Thank you.
And I hope our listeners also are satisfied. And right now, I think I would just ask you if you want to share like your social media handles, because there are people out there who might listen to the episode and don't know who is WEYA Viatora, and then how can they find WEYA Viatora on social media if you use one?
Yeah, I do. I'm not a social media person, but I'm working out on that.
Yeah.
Like, I need to. Yeah, so yeah, I use Instagram, Facebook, so WEYA Viatora.
Yeah.
And on YouTube is WEYA Viatora Official.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do this.
So it's about women.
Yeah.
So it's for the 8th. And I made a song because I'm a proud girl. I'm a proud woman.
Proud woman, strong woman.
Strong woman, independent, beautiful. All the beautiful things you can say.
She said it all. I don't have anything to add. She said it all.
You know, so
yeah.
I made it to remind every single girl, woman, mother, baby girl, grandmother, that they are beautiful, that they are strong, that they can make it, that they're passionate, that their eyes are, you don't say deep things, but they will get that from the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all the social medias that I use, and on Spotify, WEYA Viatora. Everywhere is WEYA Viatora. I never use another name.
Perfect. Perfect. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think there is a lot to talk about, but really, this was a really nice episode. I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to bring you back again when the other album, Education, will be out. And because you said you were gonna go back to Belgium, right?
Yes, probably this summer.
Yeah.
If all goes well.
If all goes well, inshallah. We say that in Islam. Yes. Inshallah, if it all goes well.
Amen.
And you make that album, you bring it up home. We are here waiting for the album. Big up to yourself. Interesting. Like right now, I want to know now that song Empty House, what was the process? Like what was the inspiration while writing the song?
So I have every time I'm gonna write a song, I first get an idea and then I just write the title. So it was supposed to be a love song.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the title. I was like, empty house, when your lover is gone and then the house feels empty. That was the idea.
Yeah.
But then I came up with the melody later on and I was like, okay. But then words that came to my mind were different. We're not, it wasn't the words of the lyrics of a love song.
Yeah.
And so I started writing it, and it was an abstract way of demonstrating how me personally struggled to be an artist. Like you're in a house and it's empty, like there's nothing to push you outside. It's like when you want to be an artist and you have no one to help you, at some point you feel like you have no skills, at some like you only have you to make it, like so that was the idea. So like I'm in an empty house, there's nothing to help me, so I should break the walls. Like break the walls and make the impossible possible, and then go out there and shine. That was wow. That's the meaning of empty house. Yeah.
So, wow, that makes me feel like it's connected to now. That's how you were feeling at the time?
Yeah, of course. Like as I told you, people didn't believe that I was really going to do like just music. Even now, people are like, "So what do you do? Like music? What else?" Nothing else. Music, art, theater, they don't believe it. So back then, it was worse because I was young and I was supposed to go to school, to university, and then people didn't believe that really I wanted to do just music, just art. And there are a lot of people out there that are like that are not supported at all. Yeah, and then they only have themselves. So they have to be their own hero, their own sponsor, their own everything. So they have to break the walls and then go outside and leave that empty room, leave that comfort of saying, oh, I'm not gonna make it and all that, and then and
I'm sure you have inspired a lot of people, and also you're gonna inspire more to know the why that song Empty House, and what was the reason behind it, So you worked on it with Danny Beats?
Krizo.
Yeah,
they were both there, but mainly was Krizo. Yeah.
So like, how did Krizo get the idea?
He loved it.
Yeah.
So I always go often go to the studio with melodies because it's easier for me to find a melody when I'm home. Like, and I'm like like, okay, let me get my phone, and then I record the melody and I write. So when I go to the studio, I know everything that I want. I know the melody, I know the lyrics, I know how I picture it.
Yeah.
And so it's easier for me. Yes, sometimes I do work with mainly with Nganji. He plays like smooth chords on the piano, and then I get inspired too. But mainly I only create melodies when I'm home. So I went to the studio. Chris was there, Danny was there. So I was like, okay, so I have this new song, Empty House, talks about this, and I wanted to go in this direction. And yeah, he was like, yeah, he has an ear that is incredible. So I was like, just sing, then I would just play. And I was singing, and at some point he was excited. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I loved it. And yeah, that's how I think he loved it. He loved it. Yeah.
And it turned in a good way.
Yes, in a wonderful way.
That you didn't expect it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it at all. Like, it went way beyond my expectations, and I'm glad.
Nice.
It was hard, like when that is your first song, it goes far, and then you're like, okay, now the second song has to be, like you don't have to disappoint them,
Did you feel pressure?
Yeah, I did. At that time, I was like, for the second song, I was like, hey, like, do I really have to? Like, I can make one song and then live my life, But yeah, I made it, and I managed to continue, and then I dropped my album in 2018, and now I'm working on my other album, and I love it.
Nice. Guys, you are listening to the number one podcast in the country, the Journey Podcast. You already know, my name is Manzi Mbaya, and I'm your host. And this is the season 2. I'm going to bring you amazing artists. I'm not going to disappoint you guys, you already know. Yo, big shout out to everyone listening to us, and know that this was WEYA Viatora. You're going to listen to our episode on every big major platform that you can listen podcast to. Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast, and many more. Yo, thank you so much. Much love and respect. Boom.
Yeah.